Closers Club, what is up, people? It is a glorious August day here in Chicagoland. If you guys are in the room with me, just let me know that you guys can hear me and see me. I appreciate it. Let me just jump over here and make sure I am broadcasting. I got a lot of good shit for you guys today, and it's just okay. Listen, I know I'd much rather you guys work with us, okay? But there are certain things that we just cannot uh, keep on the lock and key in terms of this. It's a simple concept. It's a simple strategy. It's a simple workflow in terms of um, presenting finances the proper way. And these are not flippant strategies that we just be, oh, this sounds good. Put it on paper, like, oh, let's do it this way. No, this is tried and true, and it actually is based off of fundamentals. Like, for example, like in typical, if you like say stock trade, like you're supposed to invest your money with companies that have strong fundamentals, right? Like that's the proper way to do it. Although in the stock market, it's not always the case, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's strong fundamentals. Like this thing that I'm going to be sharing with you today is based off of strong, solid fundamentals. Okay. And this is the fundamentals of how people perceive and how people buy. There's nothing shady about it. It's not like esoteric. It's not like browbeating. It's just how things are done, that is congruent with the way that your people buy stuff. Okay. I don't care if it's healthcare or lemonade. It's still the same way that it should be presented properly. So you guys are in the room with me right now. Hey, I appreciate you hanging out. There's about a dozen of you in here. Dan Lyons, what's up, man? Good to see you. I can't wait to see you again. My Gonstead brother from another mother. If you guys are in the room with me, just say hello. Taking Q&A during this thing as well. And I want to let you know that you may be a part of something even bigger because I'm going to take this content and do something cool with it. And all the comments and questions I'm also going to be including in that. So if you want to be shouted out at some point now and in the future, just put a comment in there. Just say hi, ask a question or whatever. If you're digging it, let me know as well. Jen Rosenhart in the house as well. One of the best buyers I know in the world. She's a wonderful buyer, which is really tough on salespeople. But anyway, let's just get into it. Let me find where I am here with all of this. I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to get going. So a couple of fundamentals that we have to discuss first when it comes to presenting finances is this. Okay. Number one, and this is the secret. And by the way, here's the title slide for the replayers. If you guys are replaying this, hey, good to see you. It's been a couple of days or months or years. Number one is we have to be very cognizant on the fact that many people that are presented with your fees for whatever product and service, I know I'm talking to chiropractors in the room, but you understand, this is a common dilemma that many other industries deal with. Like, how do we work and how do we, navigate the people that have sticker shock? Now, the people that have sticker shock, understand, they're not the people that buy cars, houses, Rolex watches and McLarens. Like, because those people who are on the market for those things, understand, they already have an idea of what things cost. So there's not much sticker shock. I mean, yeah, it's a lot more than they want to pay for it, but it's not like, holy shit, like, it's $320,000 for a McLaren 650 LT. Oh my God, I didn't know. Like, you don't get that because they're very attuned and they're sophisticated and they're mature in the marketplace. Now, in chiropractic, we're still in our infancy stages in terms of market penetration. So more often than not, the average person won't really know what the average cost is for what you do. Plus in healthcare, the thing with pricing is so fucked up because you got insurance prices, you got reimbursement prices, you got your prices. And then on top of that, we have the plethora of the variety of different types of practices that are doing different things. So the marketplace has just come somewhat confused when they come to market and they come to buy because they really don't know what to expect. Okay. Now I understand we're way better with that now than we were, let's say, 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But nevertheless, if you're actually doing corrective care, for example, like you're the minority, right? I know it's good work. You're the minority. They don't understand what things cost. So to avoid sticker shock, which is the number one way that you have to present finances properly, is we have to pre-frame what we're providing so that when they get to the finances, you're not going to be met with so much sticker shock. It's still friggin' happens. Okay, guys, and there's no foolproof way to do this, but we have to pre-frame our consumers, our clients, our new patients, whomever, so that when they get to the finances, it's more consumable. Like, oh, of course it's this much, or yeah, I kind of expected it was going to be a lot. Like that's the feel and look and feel that we're expecting to get. Okay, again, you have all as consumers been pre-framed on what certain things cost the same way by other industries. Nothing wrong with it, right? Because we need to warm them up to the idea that you're about to buy a premium, high quality, very comprehensive product or service that's going to legitimately solve solve a problem and also satisfy a deep want, need, and desire. So if you're operating with a service or product that does those things, like we need to pre-frame that in terms of the premium fees that you are demanding, right? So there's that. Okay. So anyway, why you have to understand why they're suffering with it. Okay. So number one, most chiropractors think that your fees are too high. Okay. That's actually not true at all. In actuality, your fees are relative to what your patients think it should cost. Okay. So if you look at your own fees and be like, oh, I'm too expensive, like that makes no like mathematical sense. Like compared to what is the question? Oh, I charge, or even if you say you charge too little, well, wait a second. Like compared to what, right? Because how your fees are perceived has no function on if you believe your fees are too expensive or too cheap. It has everything to do with what the marketplace thinks your fees are. Does that make sense? Because let's be frank. Let's talk about a watch, for example. Like there's $1 million watch out there, right? So certain people are going to be like, that's astronomical. I would never pay $1 million for a watch. But do you understand? It's all relative because there's another segment of the population be like, oh yeah, $1 million for a Patek Philippe, limited edition, whatever. But like, oh yeah, that's $1 million. So, whatever. Even whether or not they buy it is what I'm saying. Is like, okay, I understand. Like everyone knows how much a Honda is cost, right? Let's say $40,000 for a Honda Accord, whatever. I don't know how much it is. I've never bought one. But if you know that's how much it is, like, yeah, $40,000. So, that's what a car is. There's someone else thinking $40,000. That's way too much for a car. You see, it's all relative. So when you look at yourself and you look at your price, you can't be like, oh, I'm too cheap or too expensive. Like it has no bearing. Completely and utterly irrelevant. What does have relevancy though is what is the perceived value of your thing, right? And when I say perceived, I'm talking about your marketplace's perception of your thing, right? Then you can be like, oh, I'm too expensive, I'm too cheap, based on their perception. Now, here's the crazy thing, guys, okay? You have control over your perceived value. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. The good news here is that you have control over your perceived value. Okay, it's subjective. You can make a case for your higher fees or whatever your fees are, right? Because it's subjective. Now, let me give you the other end of this. Holy shit, I don't want to go on this tangent, but I got to. You guys are in the room. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this conversation so far, say hello, say where you're from, how you doing, say hi, Dan. I really appreciate it. I don't like being here all by myself. But so here's the thing. Like, if you're buying gold, right? The market sets the price for that ounce of gold. So I don't care how much you think your particular ounce of gold is better than the other guy's ounce of gold. In the grand scheme of things, you are only going to fetch what the price of gold is that particular day. Now, it does go up and down, but let's just, you pick a day, August 1st, like I'm going to sell an ounce of gold. Like the market has set the price for it, right? There's very little wiggle room on you getting more for that ounce of gold. Does that make sense? Because it's a commodity. It is what it is. A bushel of corn costs a certain amount. Like you can't demand more than that. A barrel of oil, it is what it is. It is what the market says it is. So it's very, very little flexibility in making your barrel of oil way better than the next guy's barrel of oil because the market has determined this is how much it is. That's a commodity. That is way, way different process of selling and buying. And it's harder because there's no way to value stack your corn or your oil. You guys feel me? But your particular service and fees, way more subjectivity there. You are able to increase the perceived value. So listen, this is what I'm going here. If your perceived value is higher than your absolute value, that the actual cost of your, let's say, let's just talk for the price of one visit in your office. Let's say if the one visit in your office is $60, but the perceived value on your patient side is $100, that's an easy yes. However, if your perceived value is $20 and your absolute value is $60, they'll never go up there. It's an emphatic and immediate no, right? So that's what we're dealing with right now. Listen, I'll get to all of this stuff in a second. Please understand. I'm getting somewhere. Here, shit? I lost my window. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is how chiropractors present finances. Okay, let's say you're buying a car. Hi, my name is Jerry. Please buy this Porsche 911 GT3. Price 208,970. It's awesome. It's really cool. It's like the friggin' best. Please buy it. This is how chiropractors present your services. Okay, it's just, oh, look at me, it's so great. The product speaks for itself. It sells itself. So you should have no problem saying yes to what I'm actually selling it for. So let's go. Oh, no, I don't really want to buy it right now, or I need to go home and talk to my spouse about it. What? WTF? What are you talking about? Like, this is what it costs, and look how great it is. No, I'm still not really interested. This is what we're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. This is a significant problem because, again, we don't understand this idea of relative perceived value. Okay, so this is how the pros sell shit. Okay, this is a sticker off a car. I'm using a car as an example because the selling of cars, like, they have some shit figured out, guys. Okay, we are infants in the business of sales in terms of a service. These guys are just absolute pros. Like, this is how they sell it. Like, they list every possible thing that is included in this particular product. What they do is what we call a value stack. They add every single line item of why this thing should fetch X, Y, and Z. Okay, watch the branding is a huge part. Okay, look at that, branded. Okay, it's not regular typeface, it's branded. Look at the model number. Here's the year and all the standard equipment. Yes, it comes with fuel injection, guys. Like, duh, right? But they put it on here because this is still something that adds value to the product. Okay, all done. And then once all of this shit is done, now here's the total price of 208,970. Okay, and we've seen these things before. We don't even look twice at it. And all the shit here, by the way, is legally required by car manufacturers and sellers to have this shit. They wouldn't have this here if they really could help it. It would all be completely stacked with every single standard equipment and safety features and comfort and convenience features and all the options and blah, 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 blah. And so there is what the price of it, 208. Okay, this is how the pros do it. Okay, so when you are presenting your care, you have to increase the perceived value. How do you do that? You literally have to list out every single thing that you provide, even, watch this, guys, even if you think the thing that you're providing has no inherent value. And here's the problem is that we have been in our own shit for so long, right? We don't smell anything. Like, nothing is special to us. Bad analogy with the shit smell, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, nothing is special anymore. Oh, I give an adjustment. Okay, it's just an adjustment. I mean, how valuable could it be? I just do it all day, every day. But you understand, that's your perception, irrelevant. Their perception is it's absolutely valuable because it's going to do all these friggin' things. Even a hot pack. Do you guys know if you do any cryotherapy or heating, whatever, like, that's still a service, right? Like, you're actually doing something for them that they don't necessarily want to do or can do on their own, right? It's still a service that needs to be stacked. How about even if you do healthcare classes, like, educating your patients, that's a service. Right. That is something you offer that has to go in your value stack. So before you present finances, number one thing is you got to list out every single thing. Now, if you're in the tank and you're a masterclass grad, this is novice stuff for you. Okay. I'm talking to everyone else that before they present the number, like, what the heck are you buying? Right. That's the patient's perspective. What am I buying? What does this actually cost? Oh, wait a second. The doctor actually put down everything I'm going to need, down to exactly why it's beneficial for me, why I want it. And he builds this case like a sticker like this in their head. And then finally you present the finances, which now, right, their perceived value is higher, which more closely matches your absolute value. And if you're really good at this shit, your perceived value is way higher than your actual value, right? And in that case, it's an immediate yes. All right, here's number 2, okay? And guys, I'm rushing through this because there's a lot of shit here, but understand that if I lose any of you here at the end, I'm going to send you something that's going to really be helpful if you want it. Okay, I lost my screen here. Sorry, here we go. Okay, secret number 2. You're at the point where you're presenting the number, okay? You guys get this all wrong, so I'm just going to put this out there and make sure you guys understand this, okay? Here we go. Okay, so I'm not going to tell the story, but here's the thing: is we give our patients way too many choices when it comes to the finances. Let's just take a typical cash case. Okay, no insurance, self pay. Okay, I'm sure everyone has that. Okay, when you get to the finances, it's like it's like walking into a MIT math class, dry erase board, and watching the professor go over the finer points of like differential equations. It's so confusing. All right, number one, it's it takes forever. Number two, it creates doubt and confusion. And here's one of the laws that we teach here that you guys should just carry around with you, maybe tattoo it to your chest, is confused minds don't buy. And so many of you, when you get to the finances, because it's so circumloquacious and it's so involved and has a high degree of detail and all this rigmarole, that they get confused. And by the way, by the time they get to the finances, what we also ignore is the perspective that your patients may be a little mentally fatigued. Did you ever consider that? Like, did you ever consider like where is my patient's like bandwidth right now? Right? I'm just telling you, at the end of a report of findings, they are the smaller bandwidth. They could be mentally fatigued, a lot of information, right? And on top of that, now we're going through this whole mathematical equation of how the finances work, or you, God forbid, okay, listen, someone's going to hate me for this, print out a finance sheet with all the numbers and what everything costs and all this crap, thinking that you're just disclosing what everything costs. No, absolutely not. Okay, what you're actually doing is increasing the confusion for your patients. Okay, now, if you're in this room right now and you have had like braces for your kids, or I don't know, had a nose job or whatever, you should understand, like, for someone to get braces, there's a lot of steps, right? There's the pre-consultation, there's the prep work to get the surfaces ready. You understand that it's a lot of those things. Orthodontists know because they're trained. Okay, orthodontists are great salespeople. Okay, they know that if we do all that stuff, it ain't going to happen. We're just getting a case fee. This is what everything costs. This is what's included. There's no line item. How many units you sold for this one is $100 for each tooth that we have to prepare. And this is how much the wiring costs. And this is for the little pads that go in there. Like, they don't do that. Total cost to get your son into braces is $6,422. That's what it is. Okay. So we don't need to do that. So if you confuse them up front with all this stuff, that is probably one of the reasons why your patients are fatigued and they want to go home and think about it. So how do we make it simple? Two choices. We just got to give them two choices. Now, I don't care how you practice, docs. I don't care if you are visit to visit, do care plans, or something in between, okay? Or we have docs that are doing high ticket, like, crazy stuff, okay, guys? Like, I'm not judging. And then you have docs who are just doing like adjust exclusive, adjust exclusive, visit to visit. Like, it doesn't really matter. Across the board, whatever you decide to do, which we don't discriminate, okay? We work with docs from either end. Is you got to find a way to present the finances where you're given two choices, and two choices max. You're not going to lose more, because if anything, you're going to gain more, because the simplicity of it just makes it like, okay, I have my two choices. Okay, I'll just do this one. And in the CFC world, this is what we teach. Let's say this is a care plan, okay? Made up numbers. 3870 is the retail. This is how much it would be if I added up every single service that they needed to do. And the right number is 15% off of the left number, and the middle number is I don't know the math, but 25% off. So what I'm going to do here in this particular example, again, I don't care how you do this, okay? This is just an example if you do care plans, is the conversation goes like this, okay? After I built value and I'm ready to present finances, the conversation is this: hey, Sally, the total cost of care for you is $38.70. And that's how much it would be if you pay for every single thing over the course of the next 3 months. I get super busy around here, so I don't like people doing individual transactions every time you come in. So I give my patients the incentive to take that and break it up over 3 months. If you do that, I give you a 15% courtesy, which brings it down to $32.89. Okay, divide that by 3, pay that monthly, and then you're done. But most of my patients like to take care of all at once. If you do that, I give you a 25% courtesy, which brings it down to $29.02, make it a one-time payment, and then you're done. So out of those two options, which way works best for you? Okay, that's how it's presented. Simple. 3 numbers, two choices. And I can go deeper into this, but most likely they choose the middle number, okay? And they do what they want to do. They're in control of their destiny, okay? You didn't trick them into into doing it your way. You gave them a choice, limited choices, which is your prerogative, and then you go. So docs, listen, when we talk about there's a way to do everything properly, especially when it comes to the finances, this is ideally the prime example. Now, I know I went really fast in this, but I do want to let you know that I have a blueprint. Like this uh, uh, goes through all the things that you got to do to stack your value. All right, and it's all scripted out. And listen, the masterclass grads that are getting this on a way deeper level, for those of you out there who, like, I don't know what's taking you so long, but are just kind of still on the fence, like, this is for you. Like, I still want to help you do shit before you get to us. And this is one of the things that we're priming the pump. So these are the 6 questions you got to ask. And this is a closer's blueprint. I'll send that to you. But the only way we're going to send this to you is because we got to get to know you. So if you click on one of the links over here, book a call with us. And by the way, if you want to talk about masterclass and what we do for you, great. But really the purpose of this call is going to be give you the blueprint. Okay, we shoot it to you over email on the call. And then we're going to train you on the call on how this works step by step. Okay, that's what I'm offering you guys here today. This is our gift to you, regardless of whether or not you train with us or not. This group has served us so well. The amount of interaction in this group is so cool. We just felt like we needed to kind of give back. So this is something that we are doing it for you guys now. And then this is the link, and I think Jennifer already put it on there. So cool. And I'll just drop it there. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up with the comments, but let me just see here. Yes, Jen, circumloquacious. Thank you. I've been working on. We're doing SAT words for my son, so I got that one. I got a lot more, but anyway, I hope that helped out a lot. If you guys like this stuff, hey, let us know, man. Like, we don't know what you guys are digging in here and what you like and what you don't like. But if stuff like this is stuff that you like, then you might want to let us know. Hey, like, I really would appreciate if you. Shit, did I lose you guys? No, I'm here. I really would like to and appreciate you giving us feedback on, like, hey, I really like this and I really don't like that, et cetera, et cetera. I don't care. We're big people. So that's how we roll. So thank you, Robert Birch, Down and Dirty. Thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Thank you for the Down and Dirty. Thank you, Robert Birch. Who else we got? We started value stacking text reminders. Oh shit, what an idea. Look at that. People love that shit. Like, people love knowing what they're buying is what I'm saying. And and when you're presenting finances, if you're not sophisticated enough on learning how to do this based off of how people buy, and you're just doing things and you're winging it, it's probably one of the problems that you're having right now. Because listen, guys, the word on the street is new patients are down. The word on the street, the cost of acquisition is high. The word on the street that ROAS, return on ad spend, is lower. The word is that people are contracting. The word is that we're in a recession. I don't care what you're talking about, but we're definitely feeling it. So if you are feeling it, something has to change, and it ain't getting more new patients right now, because that takes forever, right? It takes a long time. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but imagine extracting as much value out of each new patient that comes in so that they are saying yes to your best recommendations more often than not. That's what we got to do. Okay. And I'm not going to beat around the bush here. This is the easiest and most efficient way to increase your revenue with less new business. Okay. If that's what you're dealing with. All right. For the rest of you, you're trying to grow and scale. Well, how about we systematize your sales process, just like you systematized your marketing process, like you systematized your clinical processes? Why is your sales process not on that list? Systematize your sales system. We're doing that on an enterprise level with a lot of offices. Oh man, and it's just so cool watching them grow without all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. Book a call. We'll send you the blueprint. Make sure on the questionnaire you put blueprint training on there so we know that this is where it came from. And then we'll see you on the other side. All right. Love and appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Bye.